Good morning, folks. And so if those that don't know me, my name is Catherine Johnston, and I'm the Community Outreach Coordinator for Path Employment Services. We're hosting an ongoing Let's Talk Career series for those in the community. The purpose of this is for those interested in possibly getting into a new career or changing the career that they're in. We look at this as an opportunity to look at the personal lens of those already working in these certain fields to give information and insight and maybe some tips for those thinking about getting into this line of work. Today, I'm joined by our guest, Suzi Ozer. Hi, Suzi, and thank you for joining us today and being our guest.
Absolutely, thank you for having me.
So I guess we'll start with, tell me what your occupation is, Suzi.
Yeah, so I am operations manager at Downtown Hamilton Business Improvement Area. So we're kind of like we're a nonprofit essentially for the businesses of downtown Hamilton, just to do events, business support and things like that help make the businesses in our certain areas successful as possible.
So what would that look like? What type of things that do you to do?
So it's kind of very a broad position. I actually didn't know a whole lot about BIAs or what a BIA was before I got into working with the BIA. And that's what I find actually very interesting about this particular job is your job role can change very much from one day to the other. Mm-hmm. So one day it can be all event focused. You can be like looking up how to make slime for Halloween and how to create all these other things. And then the next day is more office administrative kind of stuff. So more back end stuff, mm-hmm. Searching for office supplies, searching for the right event supplies maybe, or the right tent company, the right staging. So it does vary. So I think it's interesting in that way. You can be doing something different from day to day. So you're not always on the same schedule, but there's definitely certain things that carry over, like your typical admin stuff, and then our publications. So we do a bi-weekly newsletter. So I work on that. I work on blog posts. Right now, we do a lot of updating on our website for COVID information for businesses as that comes out. Mm-hmm. So that's probably the main focus of it on my end anyways, is really making the events happen and then making our office day-to-day run as smoothly as possible as well too.
So it sounds like you have to be very flexible and jumping into a different role possibly from day to day and maybe throughout the day.
Yes, I would say so. And I would say that's true for lots of our BIA counterparts as well. There's BIAs across Ontario. I think we have 13 here in Hamilton. And we all kind of do something different. Like the makeup of our businesses can be different. A lot of BIAs are main street, main floor business focused. We're, on the other hand, are a little bit more, we have lots of professional services here in office towers, mm-hmm. And restaurants, as well as our really the big population of our business mix, but that changes as well from different BIAs.
And how long have you been in this role?
This role in particular has been 4 years, I believe. And then I've worked in some capacity. I was on contract and then volunteered before with the BIA. So about 6 years in total with working with BIA.
Mm-hmm. In your education, what did that look like? Did that take you into this line of work, or was your passion somewhere else and you ended in this role?
Yeah, so I actually started in sociology. I have a bachelor's in that at Brock, and I had no idea what I was doing with that. I just really liked sociology, and I thought it was interesting. So I went into that, and I thought I might do social work or something along that route. And then as I was getting towards the end of sociology, my degree there, I was like, in my head, I'd always liked doing events in my personal life. And we have just a hospitality background in my family. So I was kind of leaning more towards events as much as I like sociology. And I find things that I learned there just interesting and helpful in probably any job. I really wanted to go just to try out college and get some kind of particular program. So I thought I might as well do events since that's what I was interested in. So I finished that, and then I went to Mohawk for a year. And at that time, I'm not sure if they still have it. They might have changed. I think they've changed the structure of it, but I did a 1-year event management certificate program. And that actually led me to this because the BIA had approached Mohawk and said, do you have a student group willing to help volunteer with us to plan our annual conference? So that's kind of how I even learned about what BIAs were and what opened up the opportunity.
And how many businesses would you say you're kind of involved with and responsible with in your area for your BIA?
Our business member, I believe we have around 450 at the moment, businesses in our geographical area. And I think that's about 170 different property owners as well, included in there.
What's your demographics for your BIA? I know each one has a different area that they cover.
Yeah, so we run from the Hunter Go station to the Sonic Onion building, and then the other way from Catherine, or it might be Mary, from Mary Street to McNabb. And we border International Village on the one side. And then we are about 65% professional services, and then so lawyers, accountants, insurance brokers. And then next highest, I believe, is restaurant. And then we do have retail. We just have very specific kind of destination retail. So like leathers, Dr. Disc. So kind of very institutes downtown, but focused, specialized retail.
Interesting. And do you, so you do a lot of social media posts and things on, like, I know the BIA's intention is for the area to better improve the area, but also that includes supporting the businesses and that. What types of things that are going on right now to encourage, to support the local businesses, whether it's like through retail or otherwise? What kind of things are you doing?
So yes, we do a lot of social media. We do a lot of paid. We're lucky enough to be able to have a staff member to do social media because the executive director and I are hopeless on social media. We do use it. We did it before her, but she's very much more creative. So she helps us by, she focuses, she makes stories every day about, especially around this time of year, what people are offering. We make a list on our website about when this all started, who was doing takeout for restaurants, who was doing curbside pickup, how you could access it, who was closed. So we update that. She's been doing feature Fridays as well to feature a business each Friday. And I have been doing a blog post every couple weeks just to focus on one of our businesses and how COVID has changed how they manage their workforce and how they deal with their customers. We also are doing, events was really the main thing that was hit for us in this. We normally are outside in Gore Park doing our Halloween, Christmas. We do a summer promenade, so we have concerts during the week in the park. We weren't able to do that in the same sense this year, so it's been what can we do? So we rejigged Halloween. It was more of a scavenger hunt, so it was distance. You were searching in windows to find the secret code. Christmas we did our tree lighting virtual, and that actually had pretty good responses. It's interesting. It's disappointing in a way that you can't gather in the way that you typically did, but it's interesting to see how you can kind of flip things to still make them work when you need to. So things like that. And then we're working on winter events as well to encourage people to get out and about, because being outside is something we can still do to explore downtown as well.
Exactly. So any advice or tips that you could give anyone thinking about getting into the type of work that you do?
I would say mostly, and I was thinking about this earlier, is just to be flexible to the opportunities that come up to you. This is, yeah, it's probably when I sat down and thought, like, what career would I do? I didn't think of BIAs.
Mm-hmm.
But nonprofit sector in general, I think, is a very interesting and really rewarding line of work. But I really do stand by the volunteering with things or taking opportunities as they come up, because that's really how you get to know different employers of possibilities. It's really how you build a network, because it can be so hard to just come in cold off of the street to apply for jobs. So if you're taking volunteer opportunities and maybe even opportunities that you think, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be that great at it, if you just jump into it, that's going to bring up a lot of, that's how I got into this role, is I thought, I don't know if I'm going to excel at that, but once you learn and you do it, you open up these opportunities that you might not have known were there.
True, that's great advice. So if there is something you could tell your younger self, something that would possibly help you with the future you or the now you, what would you tell her?
I would say to not be so hard on yourself, if you not be, I guess, so tunnel visioned, as I was saying, to not think that you had one career path in mind and you have to follow this path. Because mine changed, obviously. I went into sociology, and when I was near the end, I was like, I'm not going to be I don't want to be a social scientist, so I need to do something else. Yeah. So to be able to, and we've been saying pivot is the word of 2020. So to let yourself, if you find a new interest, I would say follow that new interest. There's always an option. And I think no matter what you learn, no matter what kind of skills you take from a program, you can apply it to a different program. There's always going to be ways that you can rejig to make what you're interested in work.
Yeah, your end path doesn't always fall in suit with where you started.
For sure.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you wanted to share, Suzi?
Not that I can think of. For anyone interested, we're on all social medias. If you're interested in events happening downtown, you can follow us at Downtown Hamilton BIA at Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and you'll see any updates on what we're doing. And then you can see also all our business members as well. So if you're interested in the same with BIAs across the city, supporting local for Christmas and all that, we all have members as well on our websites for those.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good avenue to find the businesses and local businesses, is to check out the local BIAs and review their social media and sites and websites to find out who's out there and how to support them.
For sure. There's BIA, Lock Street has BIA, Ottawa Street, concessions. So they're in lots of the main areas where you'll find your shops. There's probably shops that lots of people love that don't realize are in a
exactly.
BIA.
Yeah, I'll share your info for your BIA on this post when I post it on the social media. And thank you so much for being our guest. And if anyone out there is thinking about joining and being a guest and has a great career that they want to share, or a journey they want to share and fun stories, reach out to me and we can chat. So thank you, Suzi. You have a wonderful holiday and I wish you all the best.
Awesome. Thanks. Same to you.
Thank you. Take care.